Okay, you guys, what is up? The King is here today to do Magi, the Kingdom of Magic, episode 20 review. Now, before I get started, of course, the link is going to be in the description box down below on Crunchyroll.com. If you cannot view it due to region issues or you just don't want to view it on Crunchyroll, then simply go on your favorite search engine, Google, Bing, Yahoo, and type it in, and it'll be right there for you. Magi, Kingdom of Magic, episode 20. Now, that being said, also I do want to give props to the Patreons on Patreon.com who have made the goal possible. Awesome. So someone is winning a PS4, that's the way it is. Now, on to the episode itself. This one right here, like, I watched it, and I remember it, but I kind of don't, because I only watched it once, and I have a lot of things to do today. So, because normally I watch an episode, like, maybe 2 times at least, to get, like, a full scope of what actually occurred in the episode, but that takes time. So I don't have that much time today, and because I'm very busy, because I have exams tomorrow and Thursday, and I've been studying for the past, few days for the exam tomorrow, and also I have stuff to do for, like other videos I need to do. So basically, I'm kind of busy. So this video, under 10 minutes, probably under 9 minutes, even though it's actually very informative. And what it is that we get to see Barbatos. All right, we get to see the actual Djinn equipped form of Barbatos, which is awesome. It's phenomenal. I mean, this guy, he pierced right through the first barrier, and he was going to annihilate the other 2 barriers in one fell swoop with like some giant like beam saber. And I mean, putting shame to Star Wars automatic. And the thing here was that even though he was devastating when it came to his power, Magi apparently doesn't have that much Magoi. Now, I believe that the same thing I believe that the same concept applies to Morgiana and also Masaru. Now, I forget, but maybe it's like a finalist thing, where because they have such fantastic strength and reaction, like their bodies by themselves are greatly honed, they, as an end result, don't have much Magoi. I don't really know. But that's something I forget. It's kind of vague. But either way, like it was pretty cool to see like what he was doing. And even though most of the Reim Empire had just been pushed back by Aladdin, it was kind of like, oh shit, like, well, we can now once again invade because he's gonna go in, and he gets stopped. I mean, he wasn't gonna be successful. He even destroyed Aladdin's staff. He used that same technique that he did against Tidus versus him, where he actually like vibrates the staff to a very high frequency, so it turns the ground to dust. No, he destroyed that staff in an instant, and he was going to wasteland Magnostat. In comes Alibaba-kun. Now, this may be a sign of strength, but we have someone who's in full Djinn equip, and we see Alibaba. He's rocking like some new like hand attachments for his Djinn equip, and they look red. And like a magma red. And we see Amon, and Amon is like in like the long, it's like a longer Amon, and he's able to actually stop Barbatos from striking. And he explains how Amon can actually like cut through metal vessels, and that's true. I believe I've seen Amon cut through Hakuryu's metal vessel. I believe so, his staff. So basically, Amon at this point in time has a unique power when it comes to the metal vessels, where he can actually cut through metal vessels because of the heat of Amon. And he's able to actually stop Mu and his Barbatos, which is fantastic. So that was like the first half of the episode, alright? And again, it was really cool to see that Alibaba, he's truly has grown combat-wise. That's obvious. Now, when it comes to the rest of the episode, and again, I need to make this quick because I got stuff to do. The thing here is this. In a nutshell, we get to find out that Scheherazade, that she's a clone. She's a Boonshin, Kage Boon. Alright? wood clone status. And she, just like Tidus, doesn't have long to live. Not because of the fact that they're clones, but because of the fact that the main body of Scheherazade, where which their root stems from, is slowly but surely passing away. And in fact, within a month's time, at best, at worst, in a few days, she will pass away. She will die. And that's Endgame. So, it's really, you know, we find out that she's like 268 years old, and how she, like, the first person that she made a king's candidate actually is very similar to Alibaba. So that was cool. And to see Tidus and her patch things out was also fascinating. You know, like, because, well, it was heartwarming, because Tidus this entire time, again, he's someone that has never, ever had the chance to fully enjoy his life. And he even explains how the only life that he had, most of his life, came from Scheherazade. Most of the time, he was just in darkness when he was being born, when he was being created. So, I feel bad for the guy. And of course, she starts to cry, because she understands that, yeah, just because I feel some way doesn't mean that my children will feel the same way, even though I never truly have given birth, like the normal way. So again, like, there's a lot of emotions and a lot of despair, and at the same time, a lot of hope in that whole in that scene between those two individuals. And I do feel really bad. But now that he has the chance to spend the rest of his life with the one that he quote-unquote loves, the, you know, like his friends in Magnostad, the girl, you know, finally he can get some kind of peace and solace. Unfortunately, there's a problem, alright? There will be no peace, because in comes Kou-Empire, 20,000 motherfuckers, like, yeah, we're here. Kou-Empire strutting their stuff, and of course we know that the guy who was like all gung-ho to hop in the battle was Koha over here. Mr. like, you know, he's basically like a chick. He's a chick, but he's a dude, alright? I mean, it is what it is. He's like mock tranny, whatever. But at the end of the episode, we get to see Mogamett. And then, wait, we see like the death toll, alright? Like, there was like 161 second-class magicians that died, and then there's like 80 something first class that actually died. And of course, Mogamett doesn't want to see, in his mind, his people, his children, die. So the Kou-Empire is coming. He gets word, and one lady's like, so like, what should we do? And he's like, don't worry about it, I got it. And I'm like, oh no, yo, Mogamett's got it, man. Yo, Mogamett's got it. He's gonna come in there on some straight Zeus status, like, yeah, he's gonna rain down the lightning bolts. Fire. Yeah, dude. Yo, I can't wait. Now, that's my assumption. What is he actually gonna do? I have no idea. None. Zero. But it's Mogamett, so we're gonna have our eyes open. Real open. Keep your eyes open for Matar le Mogamett. And finally, the best part of the chapter, the meat of the chapter, the episode, I should say, was the explanation of the other world, okay? Almatoran. And how what happened there was that there was so much dark rook accumulated at one point in time to where it opened up this thing called the dark spot. And the embodiment of evil came down and it ate and absorbed all the white rook within the planet. And the ones who caused it were Almatoran. King Solomon, who created this world. So this would imply about his power, okay? King Solomon, who created this world. Because the few survivors, somehow people survived. And well, we can assume that like the Djinns that we see in the world, they were once people of Almatoran. We can assume that because we do see like a flashback. Well, in the first season and in this season, it's strongly hinted that the house of King Solomon became the Djinn of this world. It's strongly hinted in both season 1 and this season. But what happened pretty much was that Al-Thaman, they said, no, fuck that shit. Screw that shit. We're coming. And even though they had just succeeded in destroying Almatoran by bringing down this thing of evil, they want to take out this current world too, which has no name. So they want to continue and destroy Solomon's creations, pretty much. And Aladdin found out all this stuff when he had gained Solomon's wisdom, which makes perfect sense. And honestly, when I was listening to the material, I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, hold on. Like, that's a lot of info. Like, it's an info dump. So I'm like, did this actually occur in the manga? It did. It actually occurred in the manga where Aladdin was talking about the black spot and how Alibaba, he seems to be like really upset about it and how he didn't tell him. And then Aladdin's like, well, I'm a Magi, and as a Magi, you know, like he basically feels duty bound as a Magi to not say shit. But of course, Alibaba's like, no, fuck that. Like, wake up. And like we're boys, we're friends, all right. Just how you supported me, I'm gonna support you. But you can't hide anything from me. You gotta tell me the truth. You gotta be open to me. And Aladdin realized that he wasn't alone in his life, all right. He has people like Alibaba. He has people like Sinbad. He has people like Morgiana, and so on and so forth, to, you know, support him and guide him and help him through the course of his life and that kind of stuff. So he starts to cry, and we don't see the tears, but he starts to cry. It's very obvious. But we can tell that these two, even though they spent, you know, a few years apart or like a year plus apart, they're still great friends, the best of friends, and that's the way it should be. So that being said, the episode overall, and I'm over. I know I'm over, but you know, it happens, man. It just does. All right, doing short reviews is hardly my shtick. You guys know that. You guys know that. With that being said, overall, the episode, it was very good. It was very good nonetheless. Even though it was kind of like an info dump, it was still very good because it was very informative. We get to see a patching of the relationship between Tidus and Scheherazade. And I mean, even though you could say, well, it's kind of like bullshit because, you know, she went to war because of this reason. No. Because she sees him as her son. It makes perfect sense to me. Parents can easily forgive their child. I mean, well, in this case, all right, it makes perfect sense that a parent would forgive her child and vice versa. Because again, his life is going to be short regardless, like no matter what happens. Either he dies naturally because he's a clone, or he dies because the actual body of Scheherazade dies. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, that being said, the war is kind of over, at least between the Lem Empire and Magnostat, or at least in the minds of the leader of the Lem Empire. Mogamett, on the other hand, may have, because he said, I'm going to take care of both the Lem and the Kou Empire. So, I mean, unless he's like Jesus Pieces, unless he's Zeus, unless he's Krishna, I don't see what he's going to do. But, we'll just wait, because Matao Mogamett, again, he was able to negate control of Tidus' body when it came to him and Scheherazade's scuffle. So, this may imply that he's Magi level. I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah, I'm done. King Lightning, rating overall is going to be a great, good plus great. And I will see you guys later. Peace. Have a nice day.